Men go through so much from a mental state, it's unbelievable. For the men that actually go through living hell while going through divorce. For all the men that go through divorce, go home alone, that find themselves in a dark hole because they want to be with their children. It's so dark for them. Well, we shall be free, ladies and gentlemen. We shall be free. Isn't that a fact? Back again here, Daniel Gallagher, Gallagher's Grip, and I am going to do a topic here for the men of the United States of America, for the men that actually go through living hell while going through divorce. For all the men that go through divorce, for all the men that go home alone, for all the men that find themselves in a dark hole because they want to be with their children, for all the men that actually do not get to spend Thanksgiving and Christmas or New Year's with their kids and or their birthdays with their kids, for all of the men that have second thoughts about whether or not they want to still be on this planet because it's so dark for them, I'm here for you. Ladies and gentlemen, men go through so much from a mental state, it's unbelievable. Mental health, going through a divorce, going through the hell of a divorce. Certainly, if you're with the wrong woman, it can be hell. I understand I am talking about men at this moment. There are two sides to the aisle, but just recently I have had so many of my friends tell me about stories that they went through and how much money they've spent with their lawyers just to actually have it all end up to be a 50-50 split, so to speak. I mean, I'm talking hundreds of thousands of dollars here. I'm talking major money spent because two people that were once in love found out that they hate each other or have actually grown into hating each other. You got to realize how terrible it is for men and women, but in today's day and age, I don't really think there is a amicable divorce. You know, I heard somebody recently, actually out of the state of Illinois, they were referencing equitable distribution, but she went on to actually clarify that just because you say equitable distribution doesn't mean 50-50, ladies and gentlemen. Could be very far from it. Of course, this is the state of Illinois. It's terrible. We get that. But what is the definition of equitable distribution in a divorce? Is it he who has the most money, he or she who has the most vicious attorney? You realize how many times men have their children turned against them because of the ex-wife instilling in their brains that your dad is bad, your dad's a piece of shit, your dad's garbage, when all of that is not true. It's completely false in most cases. You know, do you realize what a man goes through in today's day and age? Completely overlooked, utterly disrespected across the board. And you tell me if you think I'm wrong. Men out there, you tell me if you think I'm wrong. You know that when a man actually hears the words, I love you, you're doing a great job, you're my hero, anything positive. Hell, let's go back and just say anything positive that a man could hear to basically reinstill the fact that he has an existence on this earth other than waking up and going to a job and coming home and doing the same thing over and over again. He needs to feel something. And I think that's what's lost in today's day and age. He needs to feel something, and so does a woman. So why do we get so off track? Why do we get so off track when we're in a relationship? Is it the kids? I don't know if it's the kids. Is it the stress? Is it society? Is it social media? I mean, what's the real cause of two people growing out of love? Is it because every single time you turn on social media, you're seeing Chuck and Susie and Sammy and Timmy all on $100 million yachts? Whatever happened to love? You know, what's love got to do with it? You know, for real. Whatever happened to two people actually staying in love, going through the hard times, and actually coming out on the other side of the rainbow with a smile? Let me tell you something. It's getting so difficult out there. And the men that I know and talk to that tell me what they're going through, that actually tell me how they feel, because most men won't tell you how they feel. They just simply won't. You're lying to yourself and and the person you're talking to if you think they will. Most men will not actually tell you how they feel. Why? Why would a man tell you how he feels? He's not respected. Nobody gives a shit. Hey, man, I'm not feeling well right now. I got some mental issues going on right now. I just don't know what's going on with me. I mean, society tells me that I need to be this hero and I need to make all this money and so on and so forth. I don't care. Go make more money. I mean, Jesus. That's what basically happens. You know, a man in the United States of America can get any kind of love or all the love that he wants when he's got something to give. Would you agree with that? I know I would. If he doesn't have something to give, something to offer, something reasonable to give or offer, guess what? He's a loser. Guess what? My old man, he's a loser. He's a big fat loser. I asked him for some money the other day and he didn't give me anything. He's just a big old loser. You know, I get angry, right? I get angry and confused because all of these marriages, these beautiful marriages, these 10, 15, $100,000 weddings, for what? For what? Everybody I know is divorced. Everybody I know has been divorced once, sometimes twice, and sometimes 3 times. And yes, 3 times a charm, baby. Oh, maybe it's not, because they got divorced again. What is going on with the respect level for men in the United States of America? Why do we not respect men in the United States of America? Why are men crucified at the highest level when they walk through those big doors here in the courtroom? Why is it that the second he actually walks in, he's viewed as a murderer? He's viewed as a killer. He's viewed as the wrong. He's garbage. Why? You know what, ladies and gentlemen? It's time for a lot in the United States of America. It certainly is. And we're getting back on track with today's current leadership. But it is time for the men of this country to say, I'm not taking this shit anymore. I am not letting the courts of this country take away my kids, take away my time with my kids, my future, what I've worked so hard for, to just simply take it away with the hit of a gavel. I'm not doing it. It is time that the men of this country wake the up. Wake up. It is time that we take back our time. You know, and I'm not even being funny. It is time. These men that I know that have been so successful over the years are living in basements. Can't afford anything because the courts got them paying so much money to the ex-wife, to the alimony, to this, to that, because the ex-wife is playing the system. And guess what? She's winning. I am here for the man and for the men who go through hell in the court systems because they are by default put in that position to go through hell because they're a man. Because they're a man. Isn't that something? Isn't that something? I am here for all the men that get crucified in court, that get pigeonholed as a loser father, that get that have children, that get brainwashed for no reason whatsoever, but just out of spite, she hates you. She used to love you, but now she hates you and she's going to destroy you. She's going to do whatever she's got to do, and she's going to do whatever she has to say. She's going to say whatever she has to say. She's going to do whatever she has to do to make sure that you go through hell. You're not going to be with her. You're not going to be with her. kiss your ass, because you're going down to the highest level. It is over for the American men, the real American citizen men in this country that actually have an Adam's apple by birth. And you know what I'm talking about. Those men need to stand up. The American courts need to wake the hell up. The judges need to wake the hell up. The rule book needs to wake the hell up for these men. These men are alone. And you wonder why the suicide rate is so high. Screw it. This guy was too weak to the point where he shot himself. Screw it. He used a gun, he shot himself. Who cares? Move on to the next one. We're not gonna actually see the ramifications of that loss. People, what the hell is happening here? I know it goes for men and women. I know it does. But I am a man, and I've got a lot of male friends, and these guys are going through hell, and they don't deserve it. These are hardworking men. You fall in love, you fall out of love. What is love? Is love real? Who knows? Who knows? Who knows? That's the truth. Who really knows what love's got to do with it, okay? What has love got to do with it? What is love? Is it, I'm not even joking when I ask that and I say that. What is love? Oh, man, I've been with my love for 25 years. I've been with my girl for 32 years. Well, God bless you, because you are one in a million. If you've been with your love for that long. I don't know anybody that's been together that long. Not one person. And I know a lot of people. Not one person in my life do I know that has been together that long and been happy. Not the fake, phony stuff. Oh, let's go out here. Let's go over here and let's pretend and let's have fun. And when you're out in the public, you got people smiling and you're smiling, and it's all a joke. It's all a con. It's all a pretend. It's all make believe. Wait till you see those people when they actually get in their car and shut the door and they leave and they go back home. Listen to the conversations when they leave and they go back home. It's probably crazy. Listen to how they are when they're actually behind closed doors at their house. Trust me, I'm sure it's crazy. Mr. Gallagher, when are you going to grow up? Come on, where do you come up with these topics? Listen, folks, I come up with these topics because I get bombarded with email after email after email after email and phone call after phone call of good friends and colleagues and followers and guests on this show that want me to talk about particular topics. I don't need to tell you that the divorce rate is in the 60%. You already know that. The divorce rate's ridiculous. You wake up, I love you. You go to school, you get out of school, college, I love this guy, I love this girl. Will you marry me? And the whole 9 yards. And then 10 years go by, you end up hating each other. Now, nobody wants to believe that. Nobody wants to openly say that. But let me tell you something, ladies and gentlemen. Whether you think I'm crazy or not, it's the truth. It's the truth. You're married right now. I want you to sit down. I don't want you to say a word, and I want you to think. And I want you to ask yourself this one question. And I don't want to be saying this right now, but I really want you to ask yourself one question. Not about the kids. Put the kids aside. Put the kids completely aside. Am I happy with my spouse? And I want you to really think about that answer. And I don't want you to pretend, and I don't want you to fake, and I don't want you to be phony, and I don't want some fake answer, because that's just the social media norm, Let's all pretend and smile. We're on camera. Let's all pretend and smile. Let me tell you something. There's very few smiles in this country, and there's very few smiles on a day-to-day basis. You take your smiles when you get your smiles, okay? At the end of the day, there's very few smiles, The best time of life is when you're a kid, growing up, and then all of a sudden, boom, you got the real world that hits you. You ask yourself that question, am I happy? And if you are, I want you to respond to me, and I want you to say, Daniel, I am happy. Daniel, I want you folks to prove me wrong. Prove all of my friends wrong. Prove us wrong here at Gallagher's Grip, that there is hope for men and women to actually stay together and be happy. Be really happy. Be happy for real, not fake, phony phony BS happy. I'm talking about happy where 10 years, 15 years later, you actually look at your spouse and you start to feel it. You start to feel it. You look at your spouse and you get happy. You actually smile. That person brings you joy. What is it? What is it about divorce? Why do men get crucified? Why do men get destroyed in divorce court? Listen, I'm one of the very few men that have the balls to come out on a public platform and say we're sick of it. I am one of the very few men that actually speak about it. But every single man listening to me right now on this show is saying he's goddamn right. And I will support him because he is right. And you want to know something, whether you like it or not, I am right. Why? Because I see it every day. I hear it every day. And I live it every single day in one respect or another. Why is it when a man actually goes through a divorce? I mean, somebody just tell me why. Why is it? Why is it that he just gets crucified? He gets. I was talking to a friend of mine this morning. He tells me he sees his kid every 2 weeks. He gets to see his kid every 2 weeks. Come on. I don't care how bad the relationship was. From a female's perspective, from an ex-wife's perspective, from the perspective of a mother of a child, boy or girl, that kid needs his father. That kid needs to be with his father for a million reasons. Why is it so hard for people to wrap their head around that idea? Why is it so hard for a judge to wrap their head around that idea? You know, I mean, I honestly, it's hard for me to put the pieces together because it's everybody I know that goes through a divorce, it's a goddamn war. And the divorce attorneys are the ones that actually make out great. They make out perfect. And they're smiling all the way to the bank as you guys are screaming and throwing rocks across each other from a conference table trying to get a final settlement. These attorneys are loving every bit of it. And in their hearts, they're smiling and they're saying, thank you. Keep on going. Keep on going. Keep on going. Because it's nothing but you're a piggy bank. You're a piggy bank to a lawyer, divorce attorney. You are. It's not just, it's not just lawyers, right? It's a system that is flawed at an indescribable highest level possible. What is marriage? Where'd it come from? Why does it exist? Who came up with the rules? Why did marriage exist? Is it from the biblical world? Is that what you believe in? A man and a woman says I do and it's forever after? Because none of that's real, folks. None of that's really real, in today's day and age. I don't know why it exists anymore. I mean, I'm not trying to be disrespectful to the notion of marriage, but I don't know anybody who's, whistling Dixie that's married. Hey, honey, I love you. I'm home. It's more like, hey, I'm home. Shut up. It's more like that. I hate to say it, but it is. It's. Well, the truth is, it's sad. The truth is that these hardworking men in this country, the truth is they work hard. She doesn't love him. He doesn't love her. They end it. Well, guess what? You got to go through a divorce scenario to actually get a signed piece of paper. You said I do for a signed piece of paper, and for some reason, we've got to do a settlement agreement and sign another piece of paper. What if you didn't have a piece of paper to sign? What if there was no such thing as the piece of paper? What if it was just a man and a woman who really cared about each other and they lived with each other, but they didn't get married? Because that's where it's heading full force. Clearly, that's where it's heading full force. Men are petrified to get married. We're scared shitless to get married. We don't want all of our hard-earned money and sweat and tears and anguish and time away from our kids to be stripped and ripped away from us because some stranger that has the power to hit a gavel on a freaking desk can actually do that without even knowing who we are or what we stand for or what we've done for our kids over the last 10, 15, 20 years. I mean, that's really how it goes. When you get a divorce, your name goes into divorce court, and boom, it goes right into a system. You're nothing but a number, and you got to abide by your attorney because apparently and allegedly that they're pros at doing what they do, all to just get a settlement agreement, which is all revolving around money, asset distribution, and time with your kids. Why even ever consider getting married in 2025, I'll openly say this: you would almost have to be crazy to make the decision to say I do in 2025. Nothing's changing about it. Nothing's changing. Look at legislation. Nothing's changing. Nobody's spearheading massive national change in the world of marriage. Why? Because so many people feed off of it, ladies and gentlemen. You've got a man and a woman, and they know the statistics are completely against them. You know, I mean, now you're at a wedding, folks, and what is most commonly said is, I wonder how long they're going to last. That's a fact. That's what people say, whether they don't say it out loud or not. That's a whole different story, but that's what they say. That's what they think. 5 years, 10 years, 15 years goes by. Therein lies the divorce, and now the war starts. Why get married in 2025 and beyond? Why put yourself in that position? Is that because that's how we were trained to think when we were younger? You got to go to school. You got to get a degree. You got to get out of school, and you got to save money and get a job. And one day you're going to meet that one girl that's just going to rock your socks, baby. And she's going to make you so happy. And guess what? You get down on your knees and you say, I love you. I love you. I want to be with you forever. You give her a ring and you go through the whole show. We're getting married. We're engaged, and so on and so forth. We need 10 grand. And 10 years go by and they're miserable. 15 years go by and they're miserable. Sure, there's a select few of people that'll disagree and so on and so forth. But for the majority, 1.8 million people last year divorced. I mean, that's not a big number and that's not a small number, but I'll tell you what, that is a hell of a number to contend with. Why get married in today's day and age? Somebody tell me why. Please don't respond because I love him, I love, and I want to be happy. Come on, be real. Be real. Why would anybody want to get married in 2025? I need you to tell me and everybody here at Gallagher's Grip why.